Headphones always break in the exact same place, no matter how much money you spend. This thing's on its way out. Same shit, same shit. They just fucking fall apart. Hundreds of dollars to make it fall apart. Fuck. Hey friends, what's up? Alvis here. Today we're going to be talking about Overwatch because recently the big boss at Blizzard Entertainment did a conference call with the investors, so the shareholders, and usually they talk about what's going on with these games. Here's the interesting thing though. When it comes to Overwatch, announced that they have very big ambitions for the Overwatch franchise. So if you listen to the complete call, there's so much more to this discussion beneath the surface anyway. Okay, so the first thing that I picked up was the fact that they talk about Overwatch as a tentpole franchise. There's lots of different avenues that Overwatch works in. And I don't know if you know, but recently Blizzard Entertainment, they dropped a whole heap of staff. They got rid of them, but they kind of did and kind of didn't at the same time. They basically put on way more developers to work on projects like Diablo and Overwatch. And during this call, they touch on this very lightly in a passive manner. They say that we've dedicated resources towards Overwatch. In other words, the game's been out for like 2.5 years now. They're doubling down on this franchise. The expectations for an Overwatch player like myself, bring out 3 heroes a year, bring out a couple of maps, and do the events. So they'll do certain events in the game. Pretty chill. 3 heroes, couple of maps. We're all cool with that, right? That's the expectations. So during this call, they mentioned that they're going to be expanding on these basic expectations. Monetarily, they get money from the box price when you buy the actual game itself. A little bit here from merch and loot boxes as well. So loot boxes is a fucking super questionable topic right now at the moment anyway, with the new bill coming out in the US. But anyway, here's the thing though. A lot of people don't know that Overwatch makes let's call it a passive income from a lot of different avenues. So to give you an example right now, Twitch paid, I think it was 90 million US for the rights to be able to stream the Overwatch League. So not only did they make 90 million from Twitch, they've also had some other partnerships as well. If you're unaware, they've got their own Lego set. They've got their own Nerf toys with the Reaper, Nerf guns, and the mask. They're not afraid to, dabble in all these different pieces. So let me just quickly turn this around for you so you understand where I'm going here with this, okay? So massive ambitions for the Overwatch franchise. It's a tentpole game. They can reach out and they've explored this in the past. What does this mean though? Now, if you follow the development of Overwatch, you may or may not know, but the game was a previously planned MMO. It was called Titan. That's how the game came apart. Wasn't working out, so they stripped it back and they basically, did their own Team Fortress 2 version of a shooter. Super successful with it. So the idea of Overwatch bringing out, an MMO or a massive RPG game is kind of off the table, considering they've already F with that and they've taken the L. They're not playing that game anymore. They're doing their own thing. So what's left? So they've got a couple of options here. When you break them down individually, one is extremely obvious. It is glaring forward on where they're actually going with this. Maybe they're going to add a campaign where you're going to run around and be able to kill bots and work through the content and have, individual stuff. That's a really odd way to move a franchise forward, considering they came from an MMO and decided not to do that. So to make a single RPG storyline campaign, it's really odd. The second choice would be, say, Overwatch 2. Let's bring out this new game. Let's double down and do a Destiny type of thing. But at the same time, Overwatch, whether you play it or not, or whatever your opinions are, this game is still extremely profitable and still popping off for a lot of people. You got to remember, guys, Overwatch made $1 billion. So they're not about to, go and run out and make Overwatch 2 or anything like that. The idea of an expansion or a DLC is ridiculous considering that they bring out the 3 heroes, they bring out the maps, they bring out the content. You know, they're a service-based company. I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty, but yeah, they are successfully providing a gaming service despite it not being a, you know, monthly payment system. Obvious choice would be like, oh shit, they're going to bring out a fucking battle royale. Like that's the thing right now. But Blizzard Entertainment, they don't really F around with that kind of stuff. This, in my opinion, is a possibility, but there's a very, very small chance. Blizzard Entertainment are the type of company that if they're like, okay, we're going to jump into the battle royale space, they'll do their own completely different game. They'll go and put a fucking whole team, 150 developers to go and work on that. One of the most successful things that Overwatch does, excluding, you know, the gameplay itself, super fun, lots of people like it, is their story. Blizzard Entertainment have been doing this for a very long time. Think about Diablo, think about World of Warcraft. Every single game that they bring out, they have this huge lore behind it, these crazy expensive cinematics. Now, as you know, Blizzard Entertainment has been effing with film in the past. Remember the Warcraft film? So yeah, that kind of bombed in the, you know, the ratings, but a lot of people don't know that that film grossed $430 million. Now, you can't compare Overwatch, yeah, $430 million. $500 million it grossed. You cannot compare Warcraft with Overwatch. They're very different games. Obviously, there's a lot more love for Warcraft than there is for Overwatch, but Overwatch has got something really cool going for it. It appeals to everyone. Like I mentioned, you can play the shorts to anyone and they're going to get it. They're going to appreciate the animation. They're going to appreciate the storyline. They're going to have a good time when they watch it. I'm also going to throw in a couple of specific details that kind of back this stuff up. Obviously, Twitch paid the $90 million to get the Overwatch stream rights, but recently they had Disney XD playing the Overwatch League as well. But there's a lot more to this, okay? So I don't know if you guys remember, but in September in 2018, there's a guy called, you know, just a small guy named Andrew Cosby. Not that Cosby, Andrew Cosby, you know, just a screenwriter for Hellboy. He put out a tweet and confirmed that he's working on the screenplay for Diablo for Netflix, a Diablo. He didn't say animation, films, it could be anything. The tweet was immediately deleted afterwards. This is legit. This is an actual tweet, not a hoax. We've got this Diablo project in the works from the screenwriter of Hellboy with Netflix working on this Diablo project. Now we've got Overwatch, which is clearly the franchise to move forward into that space, into the film animation space. Let's be realistic about this. Animation film, so if you're going to make a full feature film, right? Let's just reference Pixar. A lot of people, you know, say the Overwatch shorts look like Pixar. Those movies take around about 4 to 7 years to produce. Earlier on, was it this year or late last year, Disney announced their new streaming service. I think it's called Disney Direct. I don't know. I don't participate in Disney that much. Now, when we look at Disney, they purchased Star Wars. Star Wars is obviously like it's not a Star Wars is not a film series. Star Wars is a toy company, basically, right? Like the amount of money that they make off film, like butts in the seat that buys tickets versus leasing out the franchise to McDonald's and all the toys and all the big companies like that. We've got these two massive competitors that are most likely pushing for an Overwatch animation. If we look at it from, say, the top down, it's clear that Overwatch and Blizzard Entertainment have this fantastic multi-billion-dollar platform to be able to move into the feature film space. And just want to reiterate again, guys, the Warcraft film made $430 million in gross. Okay, so the Overwatch franchise is a billion-dollar franchise. They've already got the game. It's already out there. They've done it. They've done the sale. Why not get funding from Disney, funding from Netflix? The difference between, say, Netflix and Disney is Netflix would probably do an animation series. So it'd be like, Love, Death, and Robots or whatever it's called. Fucking awesome series. Disney, on the other hand, might want to look at creating a complete feature film. But again, that's like, 4 to 7 years to be able to produce a project like this. So there you go, guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time, friends.